The strongest substance on earth isn't diamonds, it's cronuts.
I don't even think I've ever had a cronut before. So I'm really excited for these just because it's something new. And, you know, if I like them, I'll probably make them forever. Okay, so in my measuring cup, I'm going to go ahead and add half cup of plant-based milk plus 1 cup of water. And I will go ahead and add in 1 tablespoon of active dry yeast. And I'm just going to go ahead and whisk that until it bubbles. So I'll let it sit for about 5 minutes. You know, I would say that one of the reasons why I love baking so much is mainly because you get to create new things and you get to try new things. I love finding new recipes, especially my boyfriend. He loves sending me recipes that he finds online and just on Instagram, anything like that. And that's what's fun to me. It's creating new things and trying new things. Okay, so now in my mixing bowl, I'm going to go ahead and add 4 cups of flour, 1/3 cup of sugar, 1.5 teaspoons of salt, 2 tablespoons of vegan butter. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and mix those in. Okay, and I will go ahead and add in my wet ingredients. Okay, let's take a look at it. Perfect, it feels good. Making the dough was pretty easy. That was the easy part of the recipe. I think it's going to be the other steps. There's still a few more steps. It kind of reminds me of making croissants. So I'm excited for this new challenge and also just learning something new. Okay, so now over on my work area, I'm just going to powder some flour and going to need my dough. And this dough is pretty sticky. It doesn't feel like normal donut dough. Just I think it's because of the butter, but still feels good. I'm excited. So I'm not gonna lie, it took me like a minute to realize that a cronut is a croissant and a donut. I know it sounds silly, but like I said, I've never had a cronut, so I really didn't know that it's a croissant and a donut. And I'm just gonna knead my dough for about 5 minutes, get those air bubbles out. And I've learned that it's really good to knead your dough for more than like a minute, which that's what I was doing in the past. I feel like you get a smoother piece of bread or whatever it is you're making. And basically what I learned is that you want to end up with an elastic dough, and that's when you know that you need your dough. You know? The more you learn. Okay, so that's pretty good enough. So I'm just gonna put it in my little bowl, cover it, and I'm gonna let this sit for 45 minutes just so it can double in size. And this is actually the part that it reminds me of when I make croissants. Okay, so for this you're gonna need 1 cup of vegan butter. Okay, and I'm just gonna sprinkle a little bit of flour. And you are gonna need some kind of parchment paper or saran wrap because you're going to want to wrap this. So you just want to shape it into a square. And then I'm just going to cover this. And we're just going to let this sit. You can either refrigerate it, you can leave it out, but if you notice that it's getting too warm or melting, put it in the refrigerator. But for now, just because this is the first time I've ever made this, and also because whenever I make croissants, I do put it in the refrigerator. I am going to put it in the refrigerator and then maybe take it out 10 minutes before I'm going to use it for my dough. So we're going to do that.
Okay, so let's go look at our dough. It has been an hour, and as you can see, it has doubled in size. But before I knead it with my butter, I'm going to refrigerate it for 15 minutes just so it can get cool. Now, if you've ever made croissants, these next steps are going to seem very familiar to you. What I'm going to do now is knead my dough, and then I'm going to roll out my dough into a big square. As big as you can, it doesn't really matter. It's really your preference. And then I'm going to add my vegan butter to the middle of my dough. And just like whenever you make croissants, I'm going to wrap this, roll it out with my butter, wrap it with my plastic saran, and then refrigerate it for an hour just so it can double in size with the butter in it. You are going to want to freeze your dough before you knead it after the hour. So as you can see, mine's been sitting in the freezer for 15 minutes. And like I said, if you've ever made croissants before, you're going to repeat the process of rolling out your dough, wrapping it, and then putting it back in the fridge. And you're going to repeat this 2 more times after this one time. Okay, so this is going to be my last step of rolling it out, and I'm going to start making my cronut. So I'm just going to roll it out, and you just want to roll it out as big as you can, because after that we're going to cut our dough into 6 squares. After we're done cutting our dough into six squares, we're going to stack those rolls on top of each other, and then we're going to roll our dough out. And we're just rolling it out into a big square once again. This time, we're not going to refrigerate it. We're going to go ahead and cut out our cronuts. And you're just going to repeat that process until you're all done with your dough. The next part is totally optional to you. You can either deep fry these, air fry them, bake them. I'm going to deep fry mine just because I want a crispy cronut.
They are looking so good. Wow.
So some will be rolled in sugar and cinnamon, and the others will be glazed with a lemon powder sugar glaze.
Wow, these are looking so good. Like I said, I'm going to roll some in cinnamon and sugar, and then the other ones, I'm just going to glaze them in a lemon glaze. So I'm super excited for these. These are going to turn out so good.
Okay, so for my lemon glaze, in my little bowl, I'm going to add half cup of powdered sugar and 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. And I will go ahead and whisk that until I end up with my lemon glaze. And once you have that, you can either drizzle the glaze, you can just dip your donut completely in the glaze. It's totally up to you. Wow, my mouth is watery just thinking of these. Here they are. The top ones are the ones with sugar and cinnamon, and then the other ones are the ones with the lemon glaze. Amazing.
Wow, these cronuts came out so good. I think my favorite ones were definitely the ones rolled in sugar and cinnamon, but the ones in with the lemon glaze are amazing as well. I highly recommend this recipe. It wasn't too difficult. I think it's just the making your dough, but other than that, easy recipe. Everyone, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and like always, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Until next time.